Okay, so in this video, we're going to be doing a bit of division. We're going to be doing it the long steps. So over here, I have 739 divided by 3. So I'm going to do 739 in the inside and 3 on the outside. Now, when I'm dividing, I always start by looking at the leftmost number first. So how many times can 3 go into 7? So I'm going to think about my multiples, 3, 6, and then if I go to 9, that's too high. I have to always enter a number that's the same as this or lower. So 3, 6. So 3 goes 2 times into 7. So I'm going to write the 2 up here. And 3 times 2 is 6. Then I'm going to subtract those numbers. So 7 minus 6 is 1. And then if there's a next number up here, I'm going to bring it down. Okay, so I have 13 down here. I'm going to follow the same procedure. How many times does 3 go into 13? So 3, 6, 9, 12. So that's 4. And 3 times 4 is 12. So I'm going to put that down here. And then I'm going to subtract this. So 13 minus 12 is 1. Next, I'm going to bring the final number 9 down. And I have 19. Okay, so how many times does 3 go into 19? 3 times 6 is 18. So I'm going to put the 18 over here. I'm going to put the 6 up here. And then I'm going to subtract this. 19 minus 18 is 1. Now there's no more numbers to bring down. So this is my final solution. Basically 739 divided by 3 gives me a quotient of 246. And then there's a remainder of 1. So basically it's not a perfect division. There's going to be a decimal at the end of the solution. We don't have to worry about that right now. We just have to worry about the quotient and the remainder. Let's try a couple more questions. So let's look at question number 2. 143 divided by 11. So again, I'm going to put that in my division. And now I'm going to look at this and I'm going to see how many times does 11 go into 14. It's just one time. I'm going to subtract the 11. 14 minus 11 is 3. I'm going to bring down my next number. How many times does 11 go into 33? 3 times. I'm going to subtract 33 because 11 times 3 is 33. And this time I have a remainder of 0. So in this case, it means that 143 divided by 11 is exactly 13. There's no remainder. There's only a quotient. So it's a perfect division. Okay, let's try another example. 2,700 divided by 108. 2700 divided by 108. Yeah, because this number is 3 digits, I'm going to have to look at the first 3 digits over here. So how many times does 108 go into 270? I know it goes 2 times into 270, and 2 times 108, that is 216. Then I'm going to do the subtraction here. So 270 minus 216, you can type that in a calculator. If you're not sure what it is, it's going to be 54. And then I'm going to bring down the 0. Again, I'm looking at how many times 108 goes into 540. So again, you can do that in your calculator if you're not sure about your multiples. This is a bit of a hard one, but if I do 108 times 5, it's going to give me exactly 540. So again, in this case, the remainder is 0, which means 2,700 divided 108 is exactly 25. Okay, let's do a couple of quick last 2 examples just to get a bit of practice on this. So 150 divided by 4. I'm going to start by first trying and looking at the first number, but I can't divide 1 by 4. So I have to look at the 2 numbers. So 15 divided by 4, how many times does 4 go into 15? I know that 4 goes 3 times into 15. 4 times 3 is 12. Now if I subtract 15 minus 12, I get 3. then I bring down the 0. Again, how many times does 4 go into 30? 30 minus 30 divided by 4, or 4 times 7 is 28. Can't go any higher, I'll go above 30. I'm gonna subtract that and I'm left with 2. So in this case, there is a remainder, which means that 140 divided by 4, it's gonna be a decimal value. The whole number value is 37, then there's gonna be a decimal value after, but basically the remainder is 2. Again, let's try one last one. 5, 4, 5 divided by 7. Again, 7 can't go into 5, so I have to look at 54. How many times does 7 go into 54? I know that 7 times 7 is 49. If I go 7 times 8, it's 56. That's too high. So I'm going to have to end with 7 times 7, which is 49. I'm going to subtract that. 54 minus 49 is 5. I'm going to bring down the 5. Then again, how many times does 7 go into 55? Again, I have to only go 7 times, because if I go 8 times, it's 56. So I'm going to subtract 7 times 7 is again 49. And I'm left with a remainder of 6. So again, in this case, 545 divided by 7 will give me a decimal. The quotient is 77. The remainder is 6. That's how you do division with the long steps. You do want to learn how to do these long steps, but remember, we can type all of these in the calculator as well. It doesn't give us the remainder, but let's say I type 739 divided by 3, the first question. See how I get 246, so same as my quotient, and then there's a decimal component as well, which corresponds to the remainder.